In an earlier set of videos on my Vinyasi channel, I think they're on the playlist devoted to Dr. Becker, I state that alkaline reserves are depleted when we stimulate regeneration of the physiology under the influence of the negative electrode, the cathode of our circuit, and that we encourage alkaline reserves. We build them up under the influence of the positive electrode. Well, this is opposite to the energies of the subtle body. The subtle body energies, the vital body, the etheric body, whatever you want to call it, astral body, builds up underneath the negative electrode, while at the same time we deplete alkaline reserves under this same negative electrode. Meanwhile, we are building up alkaline reserves under the positive electrode, but depleting our vital energy underneath that same positive electrode. So this is a very inverted situation between vitality and alkalinity. So we become more acidic where we have more energy. This is what the circuit is telling me, the application of the circuit to the body. While, what did I just say? We deplete alkalinity and increase energy, or we increase alkalinity and deplete energy. Now what does that mean? That means that, as Charlie would say, the yogis the naked sadhus who could maintain comfort in the middle of winter without a stitch of clothing on, he said their physiologies were highly alkaline, but they were sadhus. They gave up desire for a householder existence, so they would be reducing their expression of energy to pursue desire, to satisfy desire. Instead, they accumulated an alkaline reserve so that they didn't need to work for a living to pay for clothing, and they could go around naked regardless of the weather, and even melt the snow where they sat, because their alkalinity was so high. And this was the case with Gurudev, Maharishi's master. His alkalinity was so high, he didn't need to wear anything other than the loincloth that he possessed. And it didn't matter the time of year. And he lived out in nature. He didn't have an ashram for the several decades that he was a recluse in the forests of India. So this is the relationship between vitality and alkalinity, the vitality that we've come to know, versus a different form of vitality or health that has to do with alkalinity. It's almost as if the body is a capacitor in a sense, or acting like one, in which it stockpiles energy but cannot spend it in the form of alkalinity. And this improves health, but it diminishes the motivation for action. So active individuals have a more acidic metabolism, is what I'm inferring, but also pay for it at the cost of their health, and so they better be strong. They better be robust to have an active lifestyle. But those of us who are not robust, who are anemic, we can't do much because we don't have much alkalinity to spend in the form of pursuit of desire. So we're busy conserving and trying to store up alkalinity, whose consequence would be to do less and to look for ways to satisfy ourselves without doing too much. These are the consequence of these inverted relationships between the energy to pursue activity, the accelerative force to be an animal and run around and do things, versus the vitality to be healthy. And so if you're born with a highly strong alkaline system, you can afford to spend it. But if you're not, then you can't afford to spend it, and you're busy, nor waste it for that matter, and you're busy trying to conserve it. I'll tell you one thing, taking a bath in silver hydroperoxide with MSM and baking soda does a lot to shore up my alkaline reserves so that I can feel like I can exercise, take long walks, engage in sex, whatever, because both those activities expend energy, but I can afford to do so because I stored it up. So that means the bath, the silver hydroperoxide bath, stores up alkalinity, which I can then spend. Well, this circuit, the way I've been using it of late, I've simply been taking energy from one place and putting it in another, and I've chosen to put it at the solar plexus, the navel chakra, to improve efficiency of digestion, because it specifically targets one function of the physiology that I'm doing poorly in and improving it. So it's an application of Becker's circuit, but in a way that he, could not have foreseen what the impact is of using his circuit this way, with this kind of knowledge.